questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
The Rashford influence is crazy right now, boy.
All right, good evening.
Yep.
I would normally say I'm a very level-headed, calm and collected person. I'm not in the best of moods at the moment. I was fuming yesterday for more than one reason. I think only the fact that my niece got baptized today has kind of mellowed me down a little bit, but we're going to get into it. This is the Villa match reaction for what was, we'll get rid of that banner. It's not that yet, which was a terrible, terrible away performance. Listen, first things first, brothers, I've got to say I feel sorry for you, credit for you making the journey, because it was an absolute crap show. Sorry, because I don't swear. That's just not me. But it was crap. It was total tosh. JC, dare I even ask how are you? How are you feeling, bro?
I'm alive, and I'm happy to be alive today because there's not much else to be happy about today, apart from good food, which has definitely cheered me up a lot today. But listen, if there weren't Sunday cooking from the mother-in-law today, then boy, I'll be drunk out of my mind right now. And I think watching Liverpool smash up Man United with 2 Man United fans in the house as well, that was quite enjoying to watch. I'll say that. But other than
we'll
that,
get to that at 8:00.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm not happy. I lied. I'm not happy at all. We're gonna get into it, but it's just it was a long day. Like the thing with when Palace lose, it's a good day out. The pub was good. The atmosphere was all right. But it's just the fact that the performance ruins the whole day, really, doesn't it? And I think that rings true for almost all Palace fans that went to the match yesterday.
Yeah, then how about yourself? How are you?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with JC. You know, that like normally, like either when we lost to like Forest or like when we drew with Leicester, at least I could say the day out was good. Get to Birmingham. Well, leave mine about 8. Get to Birmingham about 10. Going to the pub nearby, and you know it's going to be a long day when they serve you a Guinness and a John Smith glass. And then going to the Witten Arms after £3 entry, cash only. Didn't have anything left on draft. I managed to got a red stripe for £4. And then obviously there was the terrible performance in between that. So overall, it wasn't the best day. Didn't get home until about 11, so that's a good 15 hours of my life. To see us register 0 shots on target.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into that. Tristan, how you doing, man?
I'm depressed. I'm just flat rich. I haven't got my Palace shirt on today. You know, I'm always coming in with my Palace shirt. I always feel proud to wear it. Today, I'm just like, nah, let me just go a little something different. It's a dark day. Colour goes well, man, you know. But what a waste of my time. I mean, I don't know where to start. It's endless, Rich. I mean, no shots on goal again. You know, the one decent chance we have is an offside goal. I mean, come on. It's 2023. You know, and we haven't even flipping won a game in any competition whatsoever. We're the only team in the Premier League without a win in the Prem this year in 2023. It's embarrassing, man. It's absolute sick. It makes me sick to my stomach supporting a team that can't score goals, can't have a shot on flipping target, and can't even win a game of football. I mean, do me a favor. It's shambles, man. And I'm fed up. I'm fed up of watching the same crap week in, week out. It's time for a change. If we don't act now, we're going to get relegated. It's as simple as that. I guarantee you, by the end of this month, Vieira's going to get the sack. We'll be in the bottom three, and it'll be all. Listen, it'll be our battle to lose in April or May when we play more of the teams around us in the Premier League compared to now. I mean, we've got Man City next, Brighton, Arsenal. You can forget all three of them games. We are not getting a single thing whatsoever. We got to play Man City at Selhurst. We got to go to the Amex. We got to go to the Emirates against the league leaders. I mean, you just can't even see us scoring and winning. It's just like it's becoming so predictable. It's just becoming so just obvious what our problems are. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed over this wretched run of form. You know, when you got Palace fans saying, "Oh, everything's going to be fine," when you got 1 win in 14, "Oh, we'll stay up," "Oh, Zaha's coming back," it just shows how stupid, fickle, and deluded some of our fans are. And I'm not talking about you lot, because I know you lot aren't happy. And I just heard it from you lot in general. But other Palace fans on Twitter, some I was hearing at the game, and I spoke to, yesterday at Villa, coming out with a load of nonsense, saying, "Oh, look, we've had a tough run." I couldn't give a damn if we had a tough run. We've had to, we played the likes of Brighton, Southampton in the cup, Villa, Brentford, teams we should be flipping winning and picking points up against, to be realistic, whether we're home, whether we're away, and we haven't even won any of them. We've drawn some of them, I get that, and at least we didn't lose them, but we're not winning, man. We're not winning. And this sort of feels like 2016 when Alan Pardew was our manager, when it took 4 months for us to finally register a win. It's feeling exactly like that. I mean, it's just really, really just diabolical. And it's just painful, torturous, man. Absolutely torturous right now. Honestly.
Right, we're going to try and keep this as structured as possible. I'm just saying it out there, lads. Listen, I don't care for... This is my personal opinion, JC. Obviously, Dan, let me know if you're different. I don't care for monetization right now. I just feel speak your mind. Speak your mind, because we've been crap. We've been terrible, But let's break this down. Let's start with the starting lineup. That's going to be the first discussion. Now, let me see. I know I've got the actual starting lineup here. Here we go. So the starting lineup consisted of, and you know what? I'll be completely honest with you. Personnel-wise, I wasn't too mad at this. Obviously, the whole Edouard situation, but we're going to go into that in a minute, because I think there's something a bit deeper with the Edouard situation. But personnel-wise, I was like, I'm not mad at this. This is not bad. It then goes into position-wise. That's the biggest issue I had, and we're going to go into like the tactics and stuff. I've been very patient with PV and stuff, and to be fair, Tristan, I'm going to put myself in that category of like somewhat deluded at times because of the whole aspect of it's a tough run and stuff. But it was literally after I had given this was the game I said to myself, all right, with everything we've been through, we've got points and stuff, but we need a performance yesterday, and we didn't get it. So I started thinking back to those other games. I'm thinking, we've not even played well. The last time I think we actually played well was Villa at home.
Yeah. When we scored 3 goals in one match.
I'm happy to be I'm happy to be corrected if there's any other games. But that's the last time I actually sat there at the ground or watching on TV and said to myself, what a performance. JC, thoughts on the lineup?
So lineup comes out. I'm in the pub. Everyone, obviously, someone gets it and the word spreads quick. Instantly, everyone's going Galala, Galala. Everyone's gassed. Like, yo, Zaha's back. Like we've heard that he's been training for 2 weeks now, so we're thinking, oh, damn, he's actually starting. We're going for it today. We see the lineup. We're thinking, okay, Ayew always puts in a shift, but actually seeing a starting lineup with Zaha, Eze, and Elise in it, that's something we haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. Taken out of the fact that we know they're probably going to be played out of position, it's just the fact that seeing those 3 players in the starting lineup, when they're all playing well, could bring fear to anyone in the league. Man City, Arsenal, United, like that front three, if they're playing well, they can threaten anyone. Obviously, you see Decore, he's got to be in there. Lokonga earned himself another start after what he'd done in the last game.
Yeah.
And who was it? Who else was there? I forgot. I think it was Elise who played in the 10, right? So thinking those two DMs good, and then you go Anderson, Gay, thinking, you know, these guys are number one. Klein, you're thinking, should Richards play? Maybe, maybe not. But Klein hasn't really done anything outstandingly dreadful lately to warrant himself to be dropped. And Mitchell, there's no one to replace him. So no matter how bad he plays, he's going to get a start, no matter what. You see in the bench, I saw one thing that surprised me a little bit was there was no Schlupp even on the bench.
I forgot about him. Yeah.
That was a bit concerning to me because when you look at Schlupp, we do cuss him, and I don't think any Palace fan can say that they don't cuss him. They don't say he's dreadful. But I don't think any Palace fan can sit here and say that his best performances don't come from off the bench. Because when he comes off the bench, he's a versatility player. You can bring him on anywhere. He will drive with the ball, and he is physically strong. And even though he doesn't press, his off the ball work is dreadful. If he's got the ball and he's running, it's hard to get the ball off. And a point in that game when Eze just had back to back dreadful situations, no running, no tackling, no intent in the runs. Like obviously, if there's intent in the run, you're going to carry the man. He's just walking around. He's not pressing. He's not doing anything. Like for example, when the goal happened, he was still standing on the halfway line when the ball hit the back of the net. You're thinking, mate, what are you doing? And then, honestly, at half time, I said to my dad, I was like, listen, Schlupp would do a better job in this team right now than Eze. On that wide left position, Schlupp would do a better job here. But it's just the fact that we've got a paper-thin squad and we've got a huge lack of quality. I'm not saying that Eze lacks quality. I'm saying that the person to replace Eze has no quality because it's sort of the same thing as Mitchell. Mitchell's got no one to back him up, no sub. So Mitchell never gets subbed because there is no other left back. And when he's training, there is no other left back. So no one's pushing him. There's no one to really push Eze. There's no one to really push Elise. There's no one to really push Zaha. And Edouard's not playing. And Mateta's probably the only one that maybe trains well out of the two.
From what we've been hearing,
from what we're seeing on the pitch, Ayew, Gay, and Anderson are our best players. Bear in mind, we've got Elise, who last year we were saying £70 million player. Eze, when we bought him, £80 million player. We'll be lucky to get our money back for them now. Look at how they're playing this season.
We'll be lucky if we get $5 million for them each at this rate.
And then bear in mind, I was speaking with Dan about it. Every single one has either a first dibs to buy back or a sell-on clause. Elise, sell-on clause. Eze, sell-on clause. Edouard, sell-on clause. Anderson, sell-on clause. Gay, buyback or sell-on clause. You're thinking, we have like the players that we brought in, good players, but everything around and inside the club is dreadful. The contract negotiations.
Yeah.
Why are we not hearing rumours going, Zaha replacement? We need to have a Zaha replacement now. He's not signing a new deal.
He's going.
He's gone. He's already gone. You saw he was getting really wound up, and then he realised halfway through the game that no one else really cared. So he stopped caring. You could tell.
Well, yeah, it's obvious. Like, can I say something? Because this is what really does my head in. Yeah, Vieira makes substitute. He brought he took Elise off. He was having a bad game for Mateta. A lot of Palace fans weren't happy, and I wanted to see Edouard on for Elise rather than Mateta. And Mateta came on, and he was delivering out instructions. One of the players he was delivering it to was Wilf. The first thing Wilf did, he had his hands out like this, indicating and looking at Vieira like, "What's going on?" He didn't have a clue what was going on. Wilfred Zaha. That's down to the manager, and that's an indication that Vieira's lost the dressing room and the team aren't playing for him. That's the indication that things are just falling apart. Not just on the pitch, but off the pitch and behind the scenes in the club.
Yeah.
So I completely get where you're coming from, man.
Yeah, going back to the original question, you see the lineup. You're happy with the lineup because of the personnel, but the performance that followed it, it was shocking. It was really bad.
Just last bit on that, and then what I'm going to do is do some comments, and I'll start with Dan and Tristan regarding Edward, because obviously a lot of news has come out this week, which I don't like us airing dirty laundry. I hate it, and it's obviously what's happened. But yeah, listen, if we're going to play, we had the personnel right, we had them in the wrong positions. We're always playing square pegs, round holes, and it's killing us. It's absolutely killing us, and yeah. We'll get into the manager in a minute. Honestly, big up Hazard.
Can I just shout out VG for saving us as well?
Oh, the
That
one
save
save
was
from
incredible.
McGinn. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Top keeper.
Big up Day Zero. Listen, we're all fuming. Trust me, we are all fuming. Big up to the chairman. Big up UK Pat. Welcome, Villa fan. Sai AVFC. Sorry, boys, but you had more ambition. If you had ambition, you might have beaten us. We went in first gear. You won't go down, but you need to stop just running fast. You know what?
Well,
The first half of your sentence, yes, we would, because I don't think you were good either, and I don't even think you had to be good. So I'm not saying that Villa are a terrible side. Like you just didn't, like you said, didn't have to go out of gear one and such. And I think so Watkins and McGinn's one was a good save, to be fair. Watkins should have scored. Other than that, both sides were dreadful. We won't go down.
This rate we will.
The hardest thing to do is to stop a run. And it's not like, if we were performing well and not getting up the points, then it's one thing. We're not playing well.
11th place is 5 points gap from us now. So we're like the top. We are the top of the bottom. It's 6 points from the bottom of the table to here.
It's crazy.
Remember that's 2 wins. That's just 2 wins, 2 games, and then we're down there. Remember, and we still got Arsenal, City to play, and Brighton.
Yeah. All the best for the rest of the season, and you two, appreciate that. To be fair to you, getting rid of Gerrard was the best decision you could have made. Honestly. You
couldn't have got anyone better than Emery, really.
Yeah,
Emery quality and Gerrard's crap.
Yeah, team's just a shambles.
I'll change my calendar. Yeah, I'll do that. No worry.
Big up Virginia, hope you're well. Sai saying the good thing for you, Sar's back, but at least I've never seen him overhit. So, yeah, his delivery this season has been dreadful.
I spoke about it in the vlog, man. I just in the vlog.
You see one of the
overhit and underhit. Even Eze was even worse though. He had a good free kick right in front of us, just kicked it straight out.
No, because at least they was meant to take that free kick, and Eze was like, "No, I'll take it," and whips in a horrible ball. It goes over like a goal kick. I'm like, flipping, man.
At least put Anderson on it. He'll put a good cross in. Exactly. And then my dad said, "Oh, but you got no other big guy in the box." Listen, I'd rather have a good ball in the box than another big man in the box. Genuinely, I'd rather have a good ball in there.
100%. I is not a man for the fight. You need to replace him seriously. We do need to replace him, but I am not going to give him slander because he's probably one of 3 players that's showing like just any balls at the moment. To be honest, we were very good at West Ham. To be fair, yes, we were.
That's the only way that we were good for.
And stuff. But, yeah. We're going to go into this. We'll explain size. So stick with us. We're not all right down. We're not all right because yes, you're right. We definitely can go down. We can go down. Let me just change the banner. Odson Edward. Now listen, we've all been clamoring and saying to ourselves, "Oh, why is he not starting? What's going on? Why is he only getting 20 minutes here and stuff like that?" Vieira's come out this week now, and he said, "I'm disappointed in him. I'm disappointed in him. Hopefully the disappearances on the bench will motivate him, give him the kick up the backside he needs, and he'll come back doing better." That was from Matt Wiseman, I believe. For me personally, I see it twofold. If that is the case where his attitude stinks, fair play, bench him. Bench him. We don't need any rotten apples. Apparently, Celtic he had a similar issue with his attitude. and stuff. So if his attitude stinks and he's not giving his all, bench him. Don't even put him in the squad. That's simple. If he's good enough to be in the squad, use him. Just use him. But the biggest issue I had with this whole situation, why is it public knowledge?
Yeah.
It's what the dressing room is. That's it. I think he's lost the dressing room for it.
Oh,
And
he's
not only that,
lost
because
it.
we had the Derry incident as well. So it seems all the dirty laundry is just airing out now. It's a massive problem.
two in 1 month. 2 bits of publicity about our dressing room being crap in 1 month, Rich. That says it all.
Just
know.
to talk Edward. And
from what you told me, it was news to me and that. I did hear from a few Palace fans. They came up to me while I was in having a beer downstairs at Villa, and they were just like, to me, Edward's, the reason why he's not starting is because him and Vieira had a public spat or an incident at training. It wasn't physical, but just a bit of a, I think they just had a bit of a falling out. The problem is with Edward, we know what this guy's capable of. I mean, look at him on his debut last season when he came on against Tottenham and got a double in quick succession. We know what he's capable. And I've been watching him all season. Now, some games I'm looking at him throughout the whole game. I've just got my eyes on him, and he stands there. And, sometimes he'll press, but sometimes he'll just stand there or just be jogging around and not trying, not working hard. He's very lazy. He's very sort of one-dimensional, and he's just very sort of just arrogant. And he's not a team player. He does. It's not a question of him finding it hard to adapt to the Premier League, because trust me, on this day, the amount of times this season we've seen him make runs into the box, he scored, like against Chelsea, Southampton, Leeds, for example. And then he's had like the last month or two, he's not been in the team because he doesn't work hard in training. He's lazy in training. This is what I've been hearing, not just from the Palace fans, but from Palace media and everything and that as well on Twitter. He's lazy, and he doesn't bust the gut. At least with Mateta, he probably does actually work harder in training, but he's awful on the pitch. But that's the reason why Mateta is probably starting over Edouard, because Edouard's lazy in training, doesn't show no ambition, no passion. At least Mateta's got the passion. I mean, so I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I watch Mateta on the pitch. I know he's been dreadful this season. But, there's been away games I've been to, and he's sort of just been trying to lift the crowd up and that, in front of the Palace fans. He's got passion. Edouard would never do that. Edouard's just lacking in confidence. He did an interview, actually, Edouard, with Sky before the Liverpool game, and he was just saying he needs more goals. Well, work bloody harder in training, and you'll score more goals. Put yourself out there, get yourself out your comfort zone. Play to the best of your ability, and you'll get in a team and you'll be banging goals. Work your socks off. You put in some effort, man. Press. Be the Edouard that came on against Tottenham on your flipping Premier League debut, and then you can get in a team. So that's why he's not starting. It's frustrating, but he doesn't work hard enough, and he's a real lazy so-and-so. And like you said, Rich, if he's not pulling his weight, if he's being lazy in training and not giving it his all, he should be dropped to either out the squad. Now, the one thing you did say was, if he's on the bench, why isn't he coming on as a sub like yesterday? That if there's a big problem between him and Vieira's got no faith and trust in him, don't put him in the squad. But the fact you put him on the bench is an indication that you're either prepared to bring him on as a substitute if anyone like, I don't know, Elise and Mateta weren't performing. That's my big question mark. Why didn't he bring him on? Why didn't he bring him on? And that's down to Vieira, and that is an indication he's clueless and he's lost it all. 100%.
And I think as well, the fact that you've got a player who possibly has, obviously we don't know, but possibly has like this attitude issue. And then our only other alternative is Mateta, who we bought for 8 mil and looks like we've had our pants absolutely put down. So I think as well, it kind of goes back to as well, why did we sell Benteke? I think selling him was a good move, but why haven't we then tried to get someone else? Or why didn't we try to get Semenyo or someone to give competition? Do you know what I mean? Because if it then gets to a point where Edouard needs to be out the squads, then because the only alternative is he's out the squad, that means we literally have no striker on the bench. Like the person we have who's most like a striker is Jordan Ayew, who hasn't scored a goal. He's scored like I don't know how many goals it is in however many games.
1 goal this season.
Why didn't we bring in another striker to do that? Because then you can leave Edouard out and kind of be like, well, at least have a backup to actually someone who can actually play there.
Yeah, I think that's something that I've been questioning a lot, because for some reason, the last couple of years, we haven't used up both our loan spots. Like, we've still got another loan, I believe. Why have we not used it? Grab anyone. Like even
exactly.
like I know you was cussing thingy in the car yesterday, Dan, like Che Adams, but anyone on loan or even him, anyone, Armstrong. Like, even
I was
Dreadful Striker.
advocating for getting Danny Ings on loan.
Yeah,
we just needed we needed a body.
He picks West Ham over us. I mean, not the first time we've been beaten in the transfer window by the Hammers, isn't it? You know what I mean?
I know his injury record ain't great, and I know wages would have been a problem, but we needed a body. We just needed
someone with Premiership experience as well. I mean, we know what Danny is capable of, honestly.
Even someone like Weghorst, for example, I know he went to United and he's always going to pick United, but he's on loan from Burnley, isn't he?
Yeah, Burnley. Like yeah.
So like, there are obviously players out there who we should have been looking at, really.
Definitely.
Yeah, Chairman, we're definitely going to talk about the Derry situation when we come to talk about Vieira and such, because we did mention it was like, could this bite us in the backside and stuff? Obviously, if he's undermining the manager, it's not on. But it looks like it's
honestly, I retract all my statements that I said in that video. I'm not going to lie to you. I really do. I genuinely, I think that we all thought about it. If he's undermining Vieira, then Vieira's got to do what he's got to do. But no, I genuinely think that you need. I wouldn't say conflict in the management, but you need some sort of disagreement. You can't just have yes men.
Yeah,
I think that's a really bad. That's just a ratio for disaster, really. If I was going, yeah, it's fine. But if Derry's there going saying no, you have to show passion to put the shirt on, because he was the last guy out of the old regime to know what passion for the shirt is.
Former player as well. Don't forget.
No one knows what like the weight that the shirt holds for the fans. Like it genuinely looks like none of these players care. And I think Zaha was the only one that's cared now. And
MacArthur.
Because he's seen what's happening now, he don't care anymore. He wants to jump ship as soon as he can. He's only honouring his contract because he knows he can get a bigger move for free. Because he knows for damn sure that we'll even if he still had a year in his contract, we wouldn't let him go unless he's got 60 million. And no one's paying 60 million for a guy with only 1 year in his contract. It's just this club's run terribly.
It's
really is.
Listen, guys, did Vieira cut their way, by the way?
He didn't.
No,
let me tell you what happened. He went over to the referees halfway in the middle of the pitch and just walked off. Didn't even clap the away fans. A few of the Palace players did. Some of them just walked off. I can't remember who, but I saw MacArthur come over. Zaha did as well.
Yeah, Zaha was the only one that came the closest to the touchline. Everyone sort of went halfway. That just shows the players don't care. They're not Palace fans. They're not going to die for this flipping club, are they? They'll probably be going in the summer. They don't care. Bunch of spineless players who are just weak and just really just disgraceful. The way they conduct themselves overall, man. Honestly, really just a shame. Shameful, man. Yeah.
Right. Let's actually analyze the game now. Mine is the goal, which was disallowed for obviously offside. We had no bite, no passion. It was gutless. It was spineless. It was a disgrace. The players should be ashamed of themselves. Management should be ashamed of themselves. All round pathetic performance. Gay, hold your head high, please, because I think you're brilliant. Anderson was decent, minus the own goal.
Yeah,
he should have cleared it with his left foot, not his right. It's a silly mistake.
Poor
Gaeta, you know what? I know we don't when it was number one, but once again, he's just he's sparing our blushes this season. A lot of these other games could easily have been 3, 4, 5 if it weren't for him.
That Watkins miss, by the way, was it a save? Because it looked like he put it wide, but someone said he saved it. First off,
it looked like he just missed.
Oh,
right, but if Gaeta saved it, then that's saved it, that's an incredible save.
Yeah, sorry.
And lastly, I know Ayu's not a cup of tea, but he's probably one of the only forwards that actually puts in the shift. Every game. he's just terrible passing and shooting and stuff like that. But work rate wise, he's the only one. That's it. We were dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And Tristan, fair play to you because you've been calling this for like a month or not,
3 months,
even longer.
Since November. You know? Rich, I can remember. I don't want to drag this on too much, but I can remember saying to not just you lot, but Palace fans in general, like my dad and a few of my mates, that because this was when we lost to Fulham 3-0, and I said this is the beginning of the wheels coming off. Then it came around like when we lost to Chelsea, Man United, and it was the halfway point. And this is the worst it can get. And it's going to get even worse than this, which is the worrying thing because we got City next and that. So I've been saying this for long. And like I always say, I hate that I'm right, but I could see this coming. It was so predictable. It was just so predictable. And we screwed up in the January window. And look what's happened now. So,
And you know what? It's got to the point now where we need to just sack off thinking about performances. We just need to get points.
We need results and wins.
Yeah, we just
1-0, a scrappy goal, an own goal kick. I just want to win.
Like, even if we still have our 0 shots on target, let someone else score for us. Score an own goal.
Exactly.
I think we need to completely just scrap, like even Vieira, scrap performances. We don't care about performances. We need to get wins on the board by any means necessary. Even if it means going to a 3 at the back. Go 3 or 5-3-2. Have 2 focal points up top. Just until the end of the season, we need to do something different because what's happening is not working. We do. Get Richards, Anderson, and Gay, who I think will do brilliantly as a 3. Yeah. I know Klein and Mitch aren't the best as wing backs, but I'm sure they could just do a job for the remaining 12 games, I think, is left.
Yeah, I think 12 games.
I'm sure they can do a job.
Yeah,
100%. The midfield 3, obviously when Decore comes back, but you can have Will, Hughes, Decore, and Lokonga just to be a bit more solid.
Definitely.
And then up top, whatever 2 you want, even if it means playing a false strike, I don't care. But we need a change in system or something needs to be different because right now it is disgraceful.
Yeah. Because the thing is,
sorry, Dan.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, go on, let Dan have a say and then I'll come back to you.
I mean, don't really know what else to say because I agree. I mean, the thing is, defensively we're good. Do you know what I mean? Defensively we're good. Like we limited Liverpool in their chances. We just got nothing going forwards, which is so confusing to me because last season going forwards we were excellent.
Yeah.
I think where the problems kind of started was that Vieira wasn't backed, and then he started trying to put square pegs in round holes. Exactly. I think that's when the midfield started getting messed around. Because last season that midfield, when Jimmy, Gallagher, and Kouyate were in that midfield, that was an excellent midfield. Then fast forward, all 3 of those players haven't been available for whatever reason. We've replaced Kouyate with Sheikh Decore. Fine, I think that's an upgrade. We then had to play Jeff Schlupp in midfield, which is a remnant from the Roy Ball era. And I think because of that, he's then tried to experiment with a double pivot, but a double pivot in terms of attacking doesn't work unless your fullbacks are very attacking, because otherwise you're not going to be able to create anything at all. And I think it's just kind of become a bit of a slippery slope. And I do agree with the premise of like, I don't think Vieira's helped himself. Like we can blame the board and stuff, who I do think deserve most of the blame. But at the same time, I don't think Vieira's really helped himself with the personnel he's tried, the systems he's tried. Like, for example, I don't understand why Mitchell and Klein don't go forward as they were last season. Like, something happened there, which isn't a personnel change. So, yeah, that's it really. Don't really know what to. I think there's two culprits. It's definitely the board, and Vieira's not helped himself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god.
And
sorry, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say like, and then like in the last game, Lokonga wasn't helping. Lokonga wasn't helping out on the wings. Who was on the right hand side? I can't remember, but whoever was on the other side, they didn't help either. It's just it's a bit of a disjointed mess, really. Like I said, defensively we're all right, but in transition into attack, we're just terrible.
Yeah.
Like no options on. Basically, how to defend against Palace is let us pass it out wide. They'll be isolated out wide because there'll be no midfielder trying to help them. There'll be no fullback trying to help them. So then they just try and run down the wing, and then they'll either put in a crap cross, or they'll just get tackled, or maybe they'll win a throw in or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Tris, what you want to say?
Yeah, it's just really. Thing is, Rich, I say the same thing week in week out. I've been saying this for 2 months. You know, we're not. We're just not. We're an awful footballing side. We're the worst team in the Premier League right now, based on recent results. We can't have any shots on goal. We can't even string 3 passes together. You know, we got no technical ability. We got no quality. Our crossing and our final third is terrible, horrific. You know, it's humiliating to watch and see. I mean, I was watching yesterday at Villa, Elise's balls into the box. His crosses were going into the whole end or nearly flipping towards the corner flag and out the stadium. You know what I mean? You could say the same with Eze. It's just embarrassing, man. And if I was an opposition team looking at Palace, I would not feel intimidated by one bit. We're not intimidated. We're no threat. We don't look dangerous. We'll have the odd shot that goes wide or hits the post or the keeper or across that goes into Roselle or the keeper comes to collect to have the odd corner, but we're just not a threat. You know, it's just sad. It's just really sad. You look at us last season when we were scoring goals of fun with the likes of Gallagher on fire, Mateta on fire, Elise in his prime, Zaha, terrific year. And you look at this season, it's been a major downgrade. You know, the lack of goals, the lack of shots on goal, the lack of, you know, passion, desire in our play going forwards. You know, I mean, we're losing a lot of games 1-0 as well. It's not like we're getting frustrated, we're just losing 1-0, but playing bad. And yesterday really summed it up. Yesterday was a chance for us out of the easiest, you know, Villa yesterday was the easiest game we will have in this month of March. And we blew it. We went and lost there with our best squad. Our best starting 11 we could have generally gone for based on current circumstances. I think the only 2 injuries we had were long-term injuries for Sam Johnson and Nathan Ferguson, who I think is coming back soon and whenever. I mean, I forgot he's even at the club, for Christ's sake. But we had a full fit squad and we just bottled it. We keep bottling it, man. And we're just not making it any easier for ourselves. And, you know, it's just that's our best team. It's not like we were missing any crucial players. We had our best team out and we still lost in a game as close to Villa. Imagine if we would have beaten Villa. I think we would have been, 3 points behind them? And now we're 7 points behind them because they won, kept a clean sheet, and we lost. And somehow we're sitting 12th in the table. But the most weird thing is we're, 6 points off the bottom spot, 5 points off the relegation zone, and we lose against Manchester City, we lose against Brighton in the space of a week. We'll be in that bottom 3. And that's the concerning thing. I don't really sort of know how to kind of react to it right now because we haven't been in a relegation fight for nearly 5.5 years. It's a weird. It's not even a weird feeling. It's just a nervy feeling, but you can just see it coming. It's so predictable. And Palace fans certain Palace fans, and you know, just need to wake up and smell the coffee. Simple as that. Honestly.
Tristan, you obviously mentioned the whole aspect of we're no threat. Now, this got banded around. I think JC, you found it.
Oh yeah, I put it in the group chat. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We are bottom by a landslide.
Flipping hell.
Even Southampton, who's bottom of the table, is much more threatening than us.
Brighton at the top and we're bottom. No. Brighton at the top, I wouldn't have seen that coming one bit. Flipping hell. I know they've got goals in them. I expected them to be where Chelsea Liverpool were, but top. And we're bottom. That's an embarrassment. Insult. Flipping hell.
Well, look at even Bournemouth.
God,
they're more of a threat.
I'm not surprised they scored more goals than we have.
Honestly, what game is it going back to? When did we play Fulham? Was that on Boxing Day?
Yeah, Boxing Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the teams we've played then are all in that top right-hand corner then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Probably because they played us.
You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean,
But
that
it
says
just
all.
shows. It just listen. If we were playing well and losing, it's
Yeah.
like fair enough.
Well, if he was playing well, we would be a lot higher on this graph. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Mm.
It says a lot, and it's a lovely segue into the next one because the gaffer. I'm sorry, like.
Oh God,
I am now a lot more closer to Vieira out than I am in.
I want him gone.
I was very patient. I did say I needed to see after the running games and stuff, but that was bearing in mind I just expected a performance like yesterday. Like if we had a performance yesterday, I would say, all right, cool. You know what? We're picking up points here or there, so on and so forth. Yesterday was the first indication where I said to myself, we're in big trouble. We have no plan. He's tactically inept, and this is not looking good. Now, the only reason, and I'll be completely honest, the only reason why I'm not completely fully Vieira out right now is because I just think it'll be very difficult to find someone suitable to get in now. I think Dash would have been perfect just for this run of games, but he's obviously gone to Everton. I don't know who. I'm happy to stand corrected. If there's someone else that could come in, let's just say if he was to go tomorrow, just up until the summer, fair enough, you know. But looking future-wise, I'm not going to lie. If it's a case where he's not going to get back to or he's not going to change tactically, I've been impressed with Michael Carrick. I don't know. I know we don't have the money for it, but Poch is about. like we just have to sell him. We have to settle him a project because he's very good with what he did with Southampton and the youth he had there. Unbelievable work, you know. But honestly, it's getting to that stage where I'm like, yo, we might need to part ways because it seems like it's a
we haven't made any progress. We haven't made any progress over the last 3 months since the beginning of this year. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And Rich, I know you said if we sack him, we're going to bring him, but I'm going to be straight up. We don't sack Vieira, you know, right now. We're going to be sinking, and before you know it, we'll run out of games. We'll be in that bottom three trying to fight, and it'll be too late. We got to act now. Either do it now, or either do it after the Manchester City game, or even after the Brighton game, to be honest, because them two games are in the space of a week. So we really, really just got to act quick. We can't afford to make any mistakes between now and the end of the season. You know, we got to act quick, man. You know, we got to start thinking ahead, thinking these extra steps ahead, man.
Porter's got a few suggestions. Says Carrick, Bielsa,
Tuchel.
You know what? As much as Bielsa's sides can't defend, they will press the living daylights out of you, and that's that's what we're lacking bad, you know.
But the thing is I've got a feeling that the players we have will literally just say, I'm not doing that, and just reject him, just like how they've rejected Vieira now. So I reckon like they need like it's never going to happen because he's doing bits at Roma. But Mourinho is probably the only guy that I reckon will probably kick some sense into the players we have. And he ain't coming to Palace. There's no reason to even think about that. But if I'm honest, that's the one guy that I think could solve our problems with the players we have. But unfortunately, I think with the players we have, I think we're screwed.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Like we talk about like pressing and that. Last season we had MacArthur and Gallagher who are very, very press heavy.
Yeah.
And then this season we've now got Schlupp and Eze. Eze's not a centre mid. Schlupp, we've always known, is always been a bit of a ball watcher. Decore, yeah, fair play. He's got a good tackle in him. Even Koyate can press as well. This is a thing. I think whilst we do slag on Vieira, and don't get me wrong, like I said, I don't think he's helped himself. He's also not been helped by the fact that he's not had the players being replaced.
Yeah. No, to be fair, like I said, we know that the board hasn't helped, but at the end of the day, you're as a manager, your bread and butter is to get the best of what you have.
And
like I said, if performances were good and we're maybe like, oh, we're unlucky here, unlucky there, and this and other, we can solely look at the board. We have got some talent in this squad. Yes, we may not be happy with certain players playing, but most all in all, the squad we have, the starting 11 that we can field, it's decent. But even the talented players with a bit of flair and trick and stuff, they look bad. You know, and that boils down to the manager. You know, I'm going to read some stuff out. And I think this is what ticks me off the most.
Same, yeah.
It's Vieira's comments. So I'm going to share a screen.
I'll say this before we look at the comments. I don't know what game he's watching. It's just like I don't know what game he's watching. It's delusional. Absolutely delusional.
So I'm going to read this. I'm going to try and read this as quickly as possible. It's caused quite a bit. Right. Patrick Vieira says the important moments went against Crystal Palace, bollocks, as Joachim Anderson's own goal condemned them to defeat at Villa Park. I'm disappointed because you always expect to go home with something, he said in his post-match press conference. Those really important moments weren't in our favour, and that made it even more difficult. You're chatting rubbish, we were crap. Wolf Zaha was offside, so it's difficult to say if that would have changed the game. You never know. Goals change games, but you never know. But if you score the first goal in the Premier League, you know how important it is. At the other end, we scored an own goal, and that shows how unlucky we've been lately. Bollocks again, because McGinn and Watkins should have technically scored.
I mean,
it's something we have to face to try to turn things around. We were close to Villa. No, we were not. The difference between the two teams today was the own goal. No, it was not. Outside of that, we didn't create very much, but they didn't create very much as well. They created 3 opportunities. I'm sorry, I'm not having that. Yes, they weren't good. They weren't good, and they would openly admit they weren't good. But that was more because they didn't have to be good against us.
Well, because they're playing Crystal Palace. I mean, any flipping team who could play like rubbish and just shocking would still probably beat us 1-0. Like, you know, that's why.
This is it. That is the story of the game today. We're learning the hard way. It's important for us to keep working. Working on what? Chet Decore was dismissed for 2 yellow cards in quick succession, but Vieira says the young midfielder will learn from his mistakes. Decore was stupid, by the way. He's disappointed. Ridiculous. He's frustrated about it. The manager said, it's not easy to leave a team with 10 men, but the players did well. They worked hard and tried to create chances to come back into the game, but it was difficult for us today. Stick this pin in. I'm going to come back to you about this, guys. But personally, I feel like we actually played better with 10 men, which was weird.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Rich. You're not wrong. You're generally
it's
not
because
wrong.
we had Maka and Hughes on the pitch. That's why.
Yeah,
I was going to mention that. Maka,
players with drive and passion.
I said yesterday, I think I was on this. Maka needs to start every game from now. I don't care if he's 34 and his legs are gone. He needs to start every game because we have no leaders.
100%, mate.
Right. That can happen. He'll learn from that incident. When you're a midfielder, sometimes you're going into challenges, and this time he was a little bit late. No, he was very late. He got red card and we'll learn from it. But I think with 10 men, we gave the right answer. That's probably the only little thing that I think he said there that was correct.
Yeah.
Right. Palace created chances earlier. No, we created a chance, but couldn't capitalize. And Vieira said adjustments have to be made before the next outing. The only chance we created, we scored, it was offside.
It's not really a chance, is it? Because the goal got disallowed.
We had a chance. Ayew pressed Kamara. He got the ball, and he thought, "Oh yeah, I'll do a step over and then pass it straight to Mings instead of shooting." You're a striker. You're in the box.
Yeah,
your face onto goal. Just shoot. I don't care. Just shoot.
Yeah. So Vieira says adjustments have to be made. Yes, you need to change the personnel. Right. With the first chances we created, and with Wilfred and the goal he scored, that was our plan, to expose the back four. So what? Oh, because we didn't score that goal, we should stop. Like,
stupid.
Wilfred away from home playing that position, that's been really good for us. Wilfred up front is not good. No. It was a plan to stretch the back four because we knew essentially it would be difficult to find the space. This is what we tried to do once. There were a couple of offsides. The timing of the runs were not the best, or the timing of the passing of the ball was not the best. It was a question of timing that didn't allow us to create those opportunities. Now, Vieira, as Nev screaming in the background, bollocks.
Yeah.
And even more bollocks.
Yes.
Now, on that front as well,
a load of rubbish, isn't it?
the players
Absolute
as well.
Shambles.
Vieira, you're a disgrace. The players are a disgrace.
Mm-hmm.
This needs sorting out, otherwise we'll find ourselves in the championship.
Oh, we will. Trust me. I mean, I'm going to say this, about Vieira. He's out of his depth. He is clueless. I mean, crap game management, shit tactics. He doesn't even know his best starting 11. He's playing Eze on the left-hand side when he's a cam. He's playing Wilf as a striker when he's a flipping winger. He's playing Ayew as a winger/forward when he's better off in a number 8 role, in my opinion. I mean, it's pathetic. He's not learning from his mistakes. Honest to God. I mean, he's got no plan B. This calm approach he's got is naive, weak, and it just makes us really vulnerable. And he hasn't got a bloody clue. And do you know what the funny thing is, in my opinion, right now? Patrick Vieira being our manager is probably sinking us down to the championship. Him being there on that touchline is making us worse and worse and worse, you know? And it's just really becoming the same old story every week. And you start to build a picture. You start to see the writing on the wall. You know, he is the problem right now, Vieira. Like, in this current situation, is you want to base it on yesterday's performance. Because I guarantee you, if we had any other manager in charge and we played that bad in the first half, the second half, we would have come out with all guns blazing and put in a better shift. But because of Patrick Vieira's calm approach, and he hasn't got Sean Derry to give the players the kick up the backside that they needed in that half time during the Villa game. But like I said, Vieira's calm approach is the reason why we just carried on playing the way we did into the second half and just didn't give it a go whatsoever. I think in the second half, we had one shot from Wilf, which just went wide, and that was it. Apart from that, we did not do anything. As a matter of fact, I think we played worse in the second half than we did in the first half. And that was down to Patrick Vieira. And that's why I want him out. That's why, like I said, he's got to go down, because the more we keep him, the longer we keep him, him as the manager will tactically and overall just sink us down to the championship. I'm just going to say it like that. It's as simple as that. The only way we can stay up in this Premier League is if we get a new manager, and we got to do it now or within the next week. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do if we want to stay up and try and avoid relegation.
Could Allardyce save us? Maybe. Back until the end of the season.
If he's 100%, I know he wasn't feeling well recently. Well, like a few months ago, I've been hearing. I don't know if that's true or not. But if he's available, I don't see why not. Yeah.
Well, Big Sam left because he got the ump with Parish already. I don't think he'll come back for a second rodeo.
Yeah, but I reckon that if he comes back, I reckon he'll know that he's got a much better squad than he had originally. He's got much better players. He just needs to get a tune out of them. And if there's one thing that that Allardyce knew what to do, is get a tune out of some dead players.
Yeah, exactly.
Benteke, 17 goals. Townsend, bare assists. Like, he made some pretty dodgy looking players look really good for us for that season. Made Van Arnold look like a world beater. Tompkins and Dan were still our centre back partnership before he brought in Sacco. Like, he made some dreadful players look good. So if he's got good players, he might even make them look incredible. But I know I'm just thinking of anyone right now. Anyone.
What about Roy? What about Roy coming back?
Thing is though, like. I don't think there is an alternative. Do you know what I mean? Like, what if we did do it? Who do we bring in? And then the thing is, it would just be the same thing next season. Like, our owners won't put their money in the pocket to back the manager, and then we'll just end up having another manager who's got a different philosophy to the one that we're trying to go for now. And then you're gonna have players who've been left over from previous regimes that are just going to be surplus to requirements, but because they're on contracts, they'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not yet Vieira. I know obviously some people are, and they're definitely entitled to feel that way and such. But yeah, we need to put this right. We need to put this right and quick. Lastly, Tristan, I'm going to leave this all to you, player rating. So JC, take you through that. I'm going to get ready for get amped at 8 p.m. and such. So big up to everyone. Obviously, like the stream. Subscribe if you're new, and for me, everyone can get 0 and Vieira can get -10. I'm tired. I'm tired, but Tristan, we'll leave you with capable hands on everyone.
Love.
Big up everyone, though.
Big up Richmond. Big up you. Richmond. Take it.
So with the player ratings, we're not going to do the bench players at all, because we know they didn't have enough time to do anything, and when they came on, it was 10 men, so they really, whatever they did was just overshadowed by Decore's stupidness. I think the only person that I would really rate for you is from the bench is Maka.
Yeah.
So let's start with VG.
For Sunday guy, I'll probably give. I think he actually didn't really have that much to do. He made a few saves, and that was pretty much it. And obviously the own goal. So I'll probably give him a 7. You know, he didn't have much to sort of do apart from maybe like a few saves, but he played well. He did keep us in it. I'll say that. But I think a 7 overall is fair enough, in my opinion.
Let's go, Klein.
Probably I'll give him a 3. Didn't have a good game. Was really negative. Wasn't getting forward as much. Was getting outpaced. You know, just kept on getting caught out. It looked like he was ball watching most of the time and was just nowhere to be seen. You know, it just wasn't alert. So yeah, I'll give him a 3 based on yesterday's performance.
Gay.
Give Mark Gay a solid 6. You know, he played well. He didn't really do a foot wrong. Did have an awful lot to sort of kind of deal with and that, you know what I mean? Villa had 3 attempts and I think he just kept his shape, you know, and he was just playing. He's had a decent campaign, Gay, you know, and I think him and Anderson at the back are the reason why we haven't shipped as many goals compared to other teams around us, you know. So I think he had a decent game.
The goal scorer, Anderson.
He actually played that bad. It's a shame I'm going to give him a 5. Would have given him a 6 if he wouldn't have scored that own goal, but he played well alongside Gay. He was solid. Apart from that own goal, I mean, it was poor defending. He couldn't sort his feet out for that own goal whatsoever. You know, it's not the first time he scored an own goal as well. But he didn't play bad. You know, there are players out there who played miles worse than he did, and he was the one who scored the own goal that made us lose the game. But it's not his fault. He played well, and he, you know, just kept on going, and he tried at least. He was the only one actually putting decent balls into the cross and that as well. So yeah, I'll give him a 5 out of 10. To be fair.
Mitchell.
0. Rubbish. Ball watching for the own goal. What he was nowhere to be seen. Switched off. Guys just being lazy. Can't defend. I mean, ever since he got an England call, like a year ago nearly, never been the same player. Inconsistent. You know, he's got no one to put him under pressure for his position whatsoever. At left back, he's the only kind of left back we got. And I don't know what's going on with him, but his confidence is in the bin, it's in the mud, and that guy just needs to kick up the backside based on yesterday's performance. I was right in front, sort of watching Mitchell where he was defending for that own goal, and it was some of the worst defending ever. Just was lost ball watching, schoolboy stuff. Man, he needs to fix up and pattern himself up big time.
Decore.
1. Poor game. The red card, I don't understand. He gets a yellow card, yeah, for the first offence, and then 2 minutes later he does the same sort of thing, injuring a substitute. He just comes on the pitch with his Chambers he tackled and gets sent off. The ref played on, and then when he went back, I was like, oh, he's going to send him off. No, luck, I'll give him a second yellow. I mean, I'm not going to lie, he could have even got a straight red the way he went in on Callum Chambers. I've seen them given, and if he would have got a straight red, he would have probably got a 3-match penalty. So he's lucky he got a second yellow, and he's missing the Man City game only. But terrible, lost his head, petty behaviour, man. You know, it just ruined the game, killed it.
In a weird way, that's kind of helped us in a way, because if he got another yellow next game, he's got a 2-match ban. So in a really weird loophole, he's only having 1-match ban.
Yeah,
but enough about him. Let's go into let's go to the invisible man, Sambi Lokonga.
Invisible man. He didn't have a good game, but he didn't have a bad one. You know. He wasn't as good as he was against Liverpool. I'm going to give him a 4. He had a really quiet game. He kind of disappeared a bit. You know, he kind of forgot he was. For me, I kind of forgot he was on the pitch at times. But he did really. He was probably one of our best midfielders who actually started. If you want me to be precisely honest with you, in that 11 yesterday. So yeah, I'll probably give him a. What was it? 4? I gave him a 4, didn't I? I gave him a 4.
Yeah.
4. Yeah, 4.
Elise.
0. Terrible end product. Final third, embarrassing. Can't cross. Crosses were going nearly out the flipping stadium towards the corner flag. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man. I mean, we know what this guy's capable of. He's just not showing it. He's lost his confidence completely. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. You know, it's like he doesn't know what's going on. I kind of don't blame him because no one knows what's going on. No one understands what VIEIRA is telling them what to do right now. You know what I mean? And we're just desperate. You know, the way Elise was crossing the balls, and it was just desperate. I'm just going to cross it in, see if someone sticks ahead on Steve, see if it goes straight in the net. I mean, not good enough. Simply, he's not been good enough this season. That game, that performance highlighted it overall, in my opinion.
Eze.
0. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. It's like a waste of talent right now. I mean, he's playing absolutely just awful. He's playing rubbish. I mean, no end product, no quality, no determination. He walks around like a flipping zombie, like a lost puppy, like a deer in headlights. I mean, he's just not there. He disappears. He's meant to be stepping up in these games against teams around us like Aston Villa, and he's just not there. He's completely lost. He can't defend. He can't attack, and he's just standing there like a lemon.
Basically,
useless.
Yeah, we heard that from QPR fans when we bought him, that he goes invisible in most games.
Sure, no,
So,
not wrong.
Zaha.
Good finish for the goal that was offside. Shame it was offside. Had that shot in the second half. I'm gonna give. Do you know what? I'm gonna give him a 2.5. He didn't have that good of a. He didn't do much, and he wasn't getting the service. But it's just he didn't really step up to the plate. You know, I don't know. I'm just not. I was a little disappointed, but he wasn't. He was surrounded by crap players, but he didn't have much. He wasn't getting the service. He wasn't creating the chances, and I'm just gonna have to give him a 2.5. But I think if he gets the service and he shows what he's capable of, and we'll see a good Wilf. But who knows? But it wasn't good enough for him. You know, he wasn't 100% yesterday regarding his performance. You know, I'll give him a 3. I'll give him a 3. Actually, I'll give him a 3. Give him a 3.
Are you?
Yeah. Are you? 3 as well. He tried, but his quality was lacking. You know, the one where he passed it to Tyron Mings in the box when you're meant to shoot when you're in that position, or pass it to a Palace player. I mean, listen, he can hold the ball well, but he hasn't got the quality. He can't shoot, can't cross the ball in properly, and it's just slow. You know, we need a bit of pace, and he hasn't got that. But he does show a bit of passion and dedication. That's all he shows. He just hasn't got the end product in him. Same for our attackers, to be fair.
Yeah. Last one, because even though me and Dan forgot to do it in our player ratings, so I'll go Tristan, and I'll go Dan, and I'll go myself. Tristan, PV.
0.
Yeah.
You might as well replay what I said like 3 minutes ago about him. How out of his depth he is. You know what I mean? He got it all wrong tactically. I know plan B. Don't know his starting 11. It's just clueless. You know, quicker we get rid of him, the better, in my opinion. Because yesterday showed how poor he was. You know, and he's just not there. And it's like he's given up. It's like he's got no belief anymore compared to the Vieira we saw last season. Whether that's because he hasn't been backed, God knows. But it's just got stale. And it's just the same BS from him in the press conferences week in, week out. Same thing. And it's just like, yeah, we got to do something. It was an embarrassment, you know, from what I see of him, the way he handled that game. I don't know what he said to them at half time, because we played worse in the first half. Sorry, worse in the second half than we did in the first half. You know, it just shambles, absolutely diabolical. It's just
Dan,
embarrassing.
Before I come to you, I've just stumbled across a stat, and because you're a stat man, Dan, I thought it would be good to tell you. Today, Liverpool scored 7 goals against Man United. That is a third of all the goals Palace has scored all season in one game.
Dude just looked at me and started laughing.
Yeah. What's your rating on PV, mate? What's your rating on PV?
What specifically for this game?
Yes.
I think he, to put it mildly, he had a bad day at the office.
That's generous.
a very bad day at the office.
I mean, like we said, the personnel to begin with, I think the personnel in terms of the actual players was probably about right that actually started, but they all started out of position. Why Zaha stays up front, I don't know. We've seen him play up front loads of times. Don't get me wrong, he has had the odd games here and there where he has been quality up front, but more often than not, he's not very good up front. Jordan, I don't know I can't remember where Jordan Ayew was playing, if I'm to be brutally honest. But you'd think that he would be the one that would play up front if he's not going to play Better or Edward. Elise again, he was if it and like Eze playing on the left as well. Like I think Eze's fine playing on the left if he's then told to come inside a lot more. With someone pushing up on the left, whether that's Lokonga or Mitchell overlapping on the left-hand side and then Eze coming in, that's fine. But we didn't see that. We were told by QPR fans that Eze's rubbish on the wings and wasted on the wings, and we continue to play him on the wings. We were terrible in the first half. I can't remember who said, I think Tristan, you said it earlier. You'd expect them to come out second half a bit more fired up. Because you expect Vieira to have said something during half time. Yeah, we played worse.
There wasn't any spark, to be honest.
Yeah, the subs, considering how terrible we were playing, the subs didn't come early enough, which is something that's been quite consistent with Vieira. Not making subs early enough. It's like it was like last week. I can't remember who it was, but one of the players was stood on the touchline for like 5 minutes. Didn't come on. Even though like there were stops in play, which I didn't really understand. So, thing is, Vieira didn't do anything of note in that game. Obviously, I know he didn't play, but like he didn't do anything to try and boost our chances at all. So, I don't know. I guess 1, 2. That's been generous.
Well, I think Chairman said it, didn't he? He said that all our ratings on the players are going to be like a binary code, isn't it? 0s and 1s. But Nate, before we go, because you jumped in a little bit late today, player rating on Vieira today. And there's no need to go through all the players because they've just been dreadful.
Every single one of them players gets a 0.5. 0.5 straight out. Not even remotely going to give a reason. As for Vieira, like Rich said earlier in the show, I'm not Vieira out yet, but I'm beginning to turn towards it because I'm seeing the same old thing, game in, game out, and I'm thinking to myself, it's going to get better. But the more I tell myself that, the harder it is to believe it. I look at that performance yesterday. You're telling me we couldn't beat that Aston Villa team? Well, let's be real. We're nowhere near better than us. Neither side was good yesterday. But lo and behold, what have I said all season? Charity, what is it now? Yeah, look who turned up again yesterday. I cut a promo for it deliberately. And I even tweeted it yesterday and let it sit out there. I went out last night for a few drinks to cheer myself up because I said, you know what? That team don't care, so I don't care anymore. I'm done. Yeah. So many of these players gone in the summer. Mitchell, the lot, bye. Move on. Vieira needs to be looked at. He was talking about he's going to bring through youth, and I saw your comments earlier, JC. What's that? 3 youth players given debuts since he's been here?
Yeah, because that was a big thing that he kept saying when he came. Oh yeah, we're going to trust in the youth. Going to trust. What does he do? Shoot them all out on loan. Not even give them a chance. 5 minutes. 5 minutes at Chelsea. 2 minutes against Newcastle. A start against Stoke. Pulled him off at half time when he wasn't playing that badly. Promises have been made and no action has been made to fulfill those promises. We'll say that.
I'm a level with you. I don't think Vieira needs to be sacked just yet. I think that'd be very rash. But I will say this. If anyone is still naive and I think we're not in a relegation battle, you must be soaking some serious grief.
Yeah. Big up, 100%. Definitely.
Because I had to put on my reggae playlist last night to cheer myself up before I went out for a few drinks because I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't pretend to myself that this is okay, that I'm happy with this. I don't care what division we play in. Let me clarify that. Premier League, Combined Counties League, I'm supporting Palace, whatever division we play in. But when the players don't care, why should we?
Exactly, because they don't care. They didn't show any passion or spark.
Dan and JC, you guys went to that game yesterday. You spent your hard-earned money to go, and you as well, Tristan. You all spent your hard-earned money to go watch that. You should be getting reimbursed. Same with the Fulham game and the Spurs game. It's embarrassing. It's okay to lose, right? It's okay to lose, but we're getting embarrassed. We've got Brighton a couple of games after this, and I'm not looking forward to that because I'm thinking... I'm
going to it, mate. Right. I'm going to be there on a Wednesday night.
Tristan,
I'm dreaded it.
Word of advice, get beyond tanked up. You'll enjoy it way more because it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. I'm done. I'm done pretending that it's all okay. Because
Mate, I've been saying this for the last 3 months. I said when we lost to Fulham, the wheels are gonna come off, and I hate that I'm right. I hate that I'm right, mate. I hate that I'm right, mate. Honestly.
No, but you know what? It's good that you're right, Tristan, because if you're seeing it,
Yeah.
JC has seen it, Dan's seen it, because Dan actually apologized to me privately yesterday on WhatsApp. By the way, no need to apologize. Only doing yourself, Dan.
I get it. Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, how many times have we all sat here and said it needs to change? A change of formation, we're happy, right? That lineup yesterday, bar one player, I was thinking, blimey, he's actually listened to the fans for once.
It was the best lineup we could have gone for, and we still lost and didn't score a goal and didn't even have a shot on target.
We scored.
That's an indication he's lost the dressing room.
We scored for the opposition. How
Exactly.
nice are we?
Exactly.
How nice are we, lads? We love helping other teams out. What's that? You haven't won a game at home in 4 months of football? You know the rest.
Yeah, definitely. Man.
Only Man City, Arsenal, Brighton next. Yay! We're going to get absolutely murdered.
We're done. We're finished.
In front of the Sky Sports cameras.
Yeah. Let me just round it out. I'll give him a 0, and there's no reason to explain it because you guys have done it much better than I have. And if I start explaining it, I'm going to get vexed and I'm going to be going on for another 10, 15 minutes.
I'm drinking on camera. I don't care because you know what? That club can't affect my weekends no more. You know them ones. I'm not letting that club affect my weekend no more.
Am I the only one? Am I the only one who's not saying that? I did have a game.
This is water. This is water. Is it no alcohol in that?
Well,
I'm sober.
put it this way. Normally, we round out and we play the outro, but today, for very special circumstances, we're going to outro something different today. So, Tristan, please shout yourself out, mate, because thank you very much for coming on today. We're all feeling it today, but thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Road to 3K for my channel. So I'm just so deflated right now. It's like this is the worst I've felt for some time. The Aston Villa vlog's out now. Let's go and watch it. You know, I said what I had to say on there. I had a little bit of a rant towards the end, a long one as well. And yeah, make sure to go and check out the rest of my videos too, my people. So
yeah, obviously go check out our vlog as well. I'm pretty sure me and Tristan said the exact same thing. I think I watched your one and we said the exact same thing in our little post-match after. But guys, as always, we'll see you in the preview or the Touch Eagle, whichever one comes first. This is Eagle Eyed Football. We are out.
See you later.
Peace.
Have you got a player at your club that's so bad that he can't score for love or money? Well, luckily for you, there's a football club that will take care of that for you with absolutely no fees necessary to pay. And you might be thinking to yourself, wait, what kind of club was that? Well, luckily for you, that club is called Charity Professional Football Club. We excel at making bang average footballers look like world beaters. For more information, call us on 0800 1861 1905. That number again is 0800 1861 1905.